Yeah, I mean, I've been here the last 2 days now, and I'm having a great time. It's a beautiful country, and especially this time of year, it's not as hot, so the weather is perfect in my opinion. And this is actually, I think, my 6th trip out here. You know, I've been here many times. The people here are very welcoming, and the training here is amazing. I mean, tonight alone, there was maybe, I don't know, 20, 30 black belts on the mat. So training-wise and just country-wise, it's a beautiful place, and I always have a great time when I come to Abu Dhabi. Yeah, absolutely. I started training jiu-jitsu when I was about 15 years old, and the way I stumbled upon jiu-jitsu was through karate. I did karate first. I started when I was 11 years old, and actually my karate sensei, he was a blue belt in jiu-jitsu under Royce Gracie. So he used to teach jiu-jitsu a little bit once a week in the karate dojo, but I never did it, never paid attention to it, just focused on karate. And then around the age of 14, I got my black belt in karate, and I kind of got bored with martial arts, and I stopped doing karate after I got my black belt. And I was kind of lazy, not doing much, and my father actually pushed me to continue my martial arts training. And you know, since I already got my black belt in karate, I felt like I needed to try something new or do something different. So I said, hey, you know, I'll give jiu-jitsu a try. And ever since I did, I fell in love with the art, and I've been going as far as I can with it. I mean, my day-to-day schedule is 24 hours a day jiu-jitsu. You know, even if I'm not on the mats, it's all about jiu-jitsu. Everything I do in my life revolves around jiu-jitsu. You know, I live what I like to call a champion lifestyle, you know, where I'm not only a champion for the 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 hours I'm on the mat, all around the clock, all around the year. So a typical day for me would be training in the morning, sparring, drilling, then in the middle of the day either just drilling technique or lifting weights, and then at night I train again, a lot of sparring again, a lot of positions, working on new positions, and I also teach as well. I teach a lot of private lessons. I actually teach kids classes at Atos, San Diego, which I enjoy a lot, you know, working with those kids, and it's only helping me as a jiu-jitsu fighter as well, because it forces me to refine my technique and really pay attention to the small details, especially teaching kids. So that's my daily day, all jiu-jitsu, and I love it. I mean, I get to do what I love for a living, and I couldn't be more blessed. Yeah, in my honest opinion, I feel like I'm training with the best team in the world, on and off the mats. Those guys that I train with over there are amazing people, amazing human beings, and since the first day I got to Atos, San Diego, I felt like I was part of the family right off the bat. I never felt like I was, you know, looked upon or looked at differently because I came from a different team or because I came over to the team already as a black belt. They welcomed me with open arms, and they made me one of their own, and no regrets in that aspect. You know, I love the training there. I love everything about San Diego as well. It's a beautiful place, and in my opinion, the best teaching, the best instructors, and the best training partners all around. I'm very lucky. Yeah, before I came over to Atos, I was training with Team Lord Irvin, and you know, I had great training there. Great training. I had a lot of good training partners, and I was there for almost 5 years. So you know, it plays a big part. You know, Team Lord Irvin played a big part in my life and my upbringing, absolutely. But ultimately, when I decided to make the move to San Diego, was for the reason because I felt I had to do what was best for me. And best for my career and where I want to go and the goals I had. And ever since I went to San Diego, you know, I have no regrets, and I think it's the best position I've ever made for myself. Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think Rory has very good jiu-jitsu. Obviously, I don't think we're on the same level technical-wise. You know, I feel I know a little bit more jiu-jitsu, and I believe that showed in the match. You know, I felt I was able to dominate more positions and just show my technique. But you know, he has a solid knowledge about jiu-jitsu. He's a black belt, so he's no tomato can. You know, he knows what he was doing out there, and he had very good defense. He was very smart. Obviously, he studied my jiu-jitsu game. There wasn't much I could study on him because most of his fights are standing, kicking people, punching people. So I had very little to study upon, where I think he had a lot. So he avoided the back takes and all that. So my hat's off to him in that department. But Rory's a great competitor, it showed, but yeah, I just felt our levels were a little bit different, but he was game, he was a good opponent, and it was a great match. You know, as it is, I love Metamoris. You know, I think they're doing an amazing thing for jiu-jitsu and all grappling sports, taking it to the next level, you know, really treating the athletes like professionals, which is amazing, you know, and there's many other tournaments happening and coming up as well that are doing the same thing. So just to see Metamoris doing that and taking it to the next level, I really appreciate it. I know a lot of the jiu-jitsu fighters appreciate it as well. Now, if there was something I would like to change about the Metamoris, was maybe if there was a decision at the end, you know, just how they do in the UFC. You know, if someone doesn't get knocked out or if someone doesn't get submitted, it goes to the judges. So I think there was judges that would force people to fight a little bit harder, because there is a way you can lose, you know, where I feel some people, since if you don't get submitted, it's a draw, some people fight to the draw, you know. So I think if you take the draw out of the equation, it will force people to fight a little bit harder. But other than that, I think they're doing a great job. Well, I've always loved MMA, you know. My dad was a big UFC fan. He started watching UFC, you know, way back in the day, and I started watching it with him, and that actually also helped me get into jiu-jitsu, seeing Royce Gracie submit these bigger opponents. So I've always been curious, and I've always had a love for MMA, but obviously when I started training jiu-jitsu, I fell in love with jiu-jitsu first. But it's always been in the back of my mind, and I think absolutely one day you guys will see me in a cage or in a ring. It's something I've always been curious about, and I feel I've accomplished a lot of things in my career jiu-jitsu-wise, and there's a few more things I want to accomplish, and after I feel I've accomplished those things I want, I will switch over to MMA. I'm at least going to do a fight. If I'll make it a career, I don't know, to be honest with you guys. I'm going to take that fight, see how I like it, and I'll take it from there. But, and the way I'll transition to that, I would do it the correct way, I believe. I'm not just going to jump right in. I'm going to make sure that my striking is on point, my wrestling's on point, my kicks are on point. I want to be an all-around fighter. You know, I don't want to be out there and not be able to take the guy down and then I'm in trouble, right? So I want to be well-rounded before I take a fight at all. So you guys can see a complete fighter in the cage representing jiu-jitsu to the best. You know, between gi and no gi, I think it's very similar, I mean, in my opinion. And the one thing that changes, in my opinion, is just the grips. You know, you just got to grip a little bit differently. The gripping systems are just different. But other than that, I think it's the same sport, same rules, same concepts, same theories. You know, so overall, to me, it's the same thing. No gi, to be honest with you guys, I enjoy gi better. But like you said, I've always done better no gi. And I give a lot of credit to that because of my wrestling background. I actually wrestled when I was younger. I was doing mat clubs and back in New York and New Jersey, and I had a lot of good wrestling coaches that helped me develop a strong base, which transitions well over to no-gi. Yeah, actually, when I first started training jiu-jitsu like on a serious level, I was training with Gracie Humatai, and through Gracie Humatai, I met Saulo Ribeiro, and you know, I still am a huge fan of his game. You know, I grew up watching all his matches and just studying and trying to mimic his game on the mats. And I actually met him over 10 years ago. I attended one of his seminars when I was just 16 years old. And that was like, you know, a dream come true, meeting such a high-level athlete like himself. So I've known him over almost close to 10 years. So when he invited me over to do the BJJ library, I jumped right on it. I said, absolutely, I would love to. And it was an honor for him to invite me to do that, honestly. And I had a great time. It's always cool to, you know, share the mat with one of your idols and learn. I want to thank all my fans out there, honestly. I mean, you guys are the reason why I push so hard out there when I'm competing, and there's no greater feeling than hearing you guys cheer for me out there in the stands. And you guys really motivate me, push me to the next level, and I want to thank you, all of you guys, honestly, from the bottom of my heart. Also, huge thanks to all my sponsors who helped me live my dream. Without them, I couldn't do what I'm doing right now. You know, Tatami Fightwear, we got Full Kai Industries, we got the Armbar Soap Company, we got Kill Cliff. All those guys really helped me take the game to the next level, and I appreciate all you guys. Thank you guys. And to my family, my mom, dad, sister, brother, love all you guys. Thank you. You guys will be seeing me winning the gold medal.